Hi, everyone, and welcome to Unpacking Bias at Work. This is a special podcast series brought to you by AIOU as part of our STEAM Ahead campaign. Every International Women's Day, STEAM Ahead celebrates the achievements of women in science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, at the same time highlighting some ongoing challenges and opportunities in these fields. Through this initiative, we aim to spark conversations about equity, innovation, and inclusion, their role in advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals while shaping the future of work and technology. I'm your host, Sindhu. I'm an associate psychologist at AIOU. Every International Women's Day, we reflect on progress, not just in representation, but in rights, fairness, and equity. This United Nations theme for 2026 International Women's Day is Rights, Justice, Action for all women and girls. And in 2026, with the current work environment we have going on, we have a new player who is shaping all these rules and regulations, and that is artificial intelligence. So we recently conducted an experiment. We used popular LLMs. The aim was to give it a standardized set of data and ask it to create performance evaluations. So we used the same data, identical data with no changes. In one prompt, we had male name, male gender cues. In another prompt, we had female name and female gender cues. So what would you expect? You would expect it to give almost similar, performance evaluations. But on first glance, it did look similar. While we, took a closer look, there were some patterns that came up. And this was not just in one or two trials, this was across multiple trials. We used many popular LLMs, we used different modes as well. And some questions came up, and that is what sparked this whole series. So in Unpacking Bias at Work, we speak with people who use, build, and make decisions with AI in their daily work. What we're seeking to explore is understand how they view gender bias, whether it comes up in practice, and their perception on whether AI is amplifying it, minimizing it, or reducing it. For our listeners, you can expect real-world examples, professional insights, and thoughtful discussions on how AI intersects with workplace equity, including practical considerations, challenges, and recommendations for fairer systems. Now, finally, to the exciting part to help us unpack all of this, I am delighted to be joined by our speakers for today. We have Vanati Khadir, Head of Operations and Administrations at Green Signature. Welcome, Vanati.
Hi, Sindhu.
Hello. And we also have joining us George Vivek, Managing Director at DAC Global Medical Center. Happy to have you, George.
Thank you. The pleasure being here.
Great. So thank you both so much for joining me. Before we properly dive into today's topic, I'd just like to begin with a fun activity. If you have a paper and pen, you can just use that. If not, no worries. You can just type in the meeting chat of this Google Meet. Yes. So basically, it's just a very short activity. I'm going to read out a list of words. As I do, I'd like each of you to just imagine a person. Okay, don't overthink it. Just go with your first instinct and just assign a name to that person. All right. To our listeners, I would invite you to try this exercise as well with us. I will just begin with the first list. Management, leadership, deliver, effective. Just write down any name that comes to your mind.
Under each?
No, just one name. For all these lists, just one name that comes to your mind as you imagine a person.
Okay, just have to write down one name that comes to your mind when.
Just one name that comes to your mind. Yeah. Done. Just go with your first instinct, George.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll do the same thing, but with a second list. Okay, just imagine a person. Again, write down one name. Collaborative, communication, coordinative, tone. Are we done? Can you please share the names that you've written for the first list?
Dr. Krishna, my CEO.
Okay. This is based on your personal experience with this person. All right. What about you, George?
Ricky Joseph. He's the owner
Okay.
of um, jewelry. He's one of my
Mhm.
close friends, and he is one of the examples that I look up to, like a guru who is like a older brother that I look up to.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Can we have the names for the second list, please?
Yeah.
Vanati, you wanna go?
Should I tell my name or someone?
Okay, any name that comes to your mind.
Obviously me.
Okay, got it. What about you, George?
Yeah. So Jomi, she's
Mhm.
a doctor, and she's currently the head of sales and marketing in our. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So as we just look at all these names, do you guys see any pattern coming up or anything apart from your personal association with these names?
I feel both the uh, people that we have named in the management position were men.
Mhm.
What I understand, Dr. Krishna, right? That
Correct. Yeah.
Vaniti has pointed out, both are male. Um, yeah, and the second question that was of uh, communication. I forgot the words that we used, but both are females. That's what I feel.
Got it. Thank you so much for sharing, George.
Yeah.
Manati, any thoughts?
So Sindhu, if you talk about leadership, obviously, um, uh, because of gender bias and everything, most of the leadership role will be a whole by men only. Correct.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
where I am now, it is because of that person. It's
mhm,
not about the gender.
mhm.
That's why I
Right.
mentioned my mentor, Dr. Krishna. So
Mhm,
I could see many leaders, but according to me, his name has come first.
mhm,
When
mhm.
it comes
Right.
to collaboration, communication, and everything, being a manager and leading a team as an operation head, I
Mhm,
was with every, like, I used to communicate with everyone when it is a positive situation, either it is a positive or negative situation, I was with everyone. So
mhm.
instead of taking some other person's name, I would like to tell my name here. I don't say
Right.
I don't have leadership skills or something, but I felt more than me, he's the right person for that.
Amazing. No, there are no right or wrong answers here. This is just, another pattern that we're just trying to explore. However, thank you so much, both of you, for your insights and for your explanations as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. So let us move on to the main crux of the video. As we move on from this exercise, some of these assumptions just come across to us just very quickly, right? We don't analyze them or we don't debate them. They just come up. And these may be completely okay due to our personal experiences, the workplace exposure that we've had with certain people who embody these traits. So we now move on to gender bias and AI. Usually, I would just like to start off with this thought that gender bias is not something that is usually loud or intentional. Like we do have a certain, schema in our mind that gender bias is something that you outright to deny a promotion to someone just because they're this gender, but more in terms of patterns that come up, whether we associate certain traits with someone or certain positions with someone, etc. So I would just like to understand how this plays out in your personal context, like in your professional experience. Have you come up or have you heard about or have you noticed gender bias in the workplace? Would
Um,
you? Yes,
do you want me to go
Josh.
first? Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So uh, some things I want to point out is see, back when I graduated college, masters, few of my friends who are my same age were looking for jobs, and so I've done psychology, specialized in industrial psychology, and a few of my friends have done MBA and uh, so on. So one of my friend who finished MBA, he was looking for a job, and he was hired by Asian Paints, so
Mhm,
famous company in India, and it's a famous paint company. So they only hire male candidates for their sales job.
Mhm.
And if you ask someone whether it's gender bias, you can see it in two perspectives.
Mhm.
The sales job, paint company would be majorly associated with going out to shop. If there's a lot of traveling involved, and you can see there's a lot of target involved, and the environment completely there is different.
Mhm.
And I feel the company, what they have done is they have taken more of like a practical step towards it, and hired their employees or made a structure in such a way that only men are there in the sales field. See,
Right.
there's nothing wrong about it, but when it comes to like, even when it comes to HR in the same company, they hire more women there.
Mhm.
And most of the leadership positions in leadership position when it comes to HR, you see majority of the people there are women. Hmm.
Right.
Even when I personally did my internship while I was doing my master's, I did it in a hotel called The Park. The
Mhm.
HR department had 5 staffs. That uh, 4 were women and one male
Mhm.
staff. And when I did my internship, they were not providing internship. I got it through special recommendation, and they were looking for female female representative who could do the internship there. And they were uh, uh, it is, I feel, it is something that the job description demands, more like a um, practical step towards what the job
Mhm.
to be. Even when it comes to personal assistants, it's not often that seen a male as a personal assistant.
Correct.
So yeah, so there are certain jobs that I'm not saying the jobs that women can't do and there are jobs men can't do, but there is certain jobs that would be done better if it's done by a woman. Even like when it comes to my company, personally, what I've experienced is when it comes to talking to inquiries that we get who are seeking for treatment, when I feel when a daily representative talk to the person who is inquiring, the percentage of conversion is more compared to when a guy is calling.
Mhm.
So, there are certain schemas that's involved in this, and
Mhm.
we have to work around it. Like the goal of the company is to increase the sales, or get more customers, and they need to do whatever that's required to bring forth that change. So as the example I gave of Asian Paints, they took a practical step, nothing to be blamed over there. But there are things that you know that are that has a schema towards jobs that have a schema that only done by male, and the jobs that only done by female. And that's about a practical aspect. That's it.
Right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for bringing that up, George. Vanati, you had something?
Yes. Yeah. So, as George said, most of the leadership roles will be held by man, and support roles only by women, especially in India, right? So, when it comes to my perspective, I have started my career following a 5 year of hiatus as a mother. Okay, when I came back, the questions weren't about my competence. It's all about my availability, long term commitment, or how will you manage this alongside your parenting? This was the question. And what is your husband? That was the main question they asked. So if he is in a good position, why do you want to come and put yourself in a risk? You have to commute, you have to take care of your son after your work. Why are you like even applying here?
Mhm.
Why don't you live in your parents' money or your husband's money, even for a fresher, not for a woman who came after a break. It is for a fresher. They may go after some years. If I invest in her, like if I train her, okay, she will get married within few years. She'll go. So I'm wasting my time in hiring. This is what they think. Okay.
Right.
So not only that, Sindhu, it is socially normalized nowadays. Like hiring hiring man for a leadership role and women for a support roles. It is silent. It is not even silently questioned. It is not at all like being spoken widely. Silently, we are facing this bias. Policies are there. Benefits is also there, but it is silently discouraged.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing, Vanati, and more strength to you for facing all of these situations and still flourishing. So some really interesting points, that came up through yours and George's points. Some of the main that I'm noticing is that how it is almost normalized for asking certain questions to women candidates that may not really be asked to male ones, or how we've almost normalized that certain roles tend to hire a certain gender more than the other. At the same time, like acknowledging the point that George mentioned, that for a company, at the end point, what matters is conversion, what matters is the revenue that comes in. So thank you so much for sharing that. If you guys could just give a little bit idea about using AI at work in your professional context, like in what context, what tools do you use to what purpose?
So we can use it for attendance and use it for rephrasing your sentences. AI will not give you any emotional support. When you have breakdowns in your working day, obviously you need a support from an EAP person, not from an AI. There are tools, even Green Signature, we have a tool to find those things. Like we have an AI tool, but it will obviously connect to the EAP person. It will analyze and give you a report. It will not solve the problem. AI is like a mirror. It's not a healer. We want
That's
a real life person to make you comfortable in the workplace, even if it is a man or a woman. So someone has to be there for them as a support system in the company.
right. Very rightly said, Vanati. Like, I really liked your point about how AI is a mirror. Uh, if I could just ask, like, specifically, what tools do you use in your daily life, like Claude or something? To what extent? Just
Yeah.
to get an idea of what you use.
If you want to make a normal sentence rephrasing, ChatGPT is more than enough. But if you're not that enough to create one unique document or something, go for Claude. Yeah,
Okay.
Claude.
So you use mainly ChatGPT and Claude.
ChatGPT for normal things, Claude for professional write-ups.
Okay. Thank you. What about you, George? Are there
Yeah,
any
so
specific tools you
yeah, I was
use?
just thinking of a couple of things where I use AI. And so ChatGPT, of course, one of the major platforms that we use is ChatGPT, and it has a lot of benefits when it comes to so um, we have a marketing division where we pre-plan. We have something called content calendar for the entire month. Sometimes we make it for the entire year. So uh, especially when it comes to medical field, we in the marketing we have to keep a list of all the celebrations or happening special days that are celebrated. And after the use of AI, it's very simple. You just have to put in all the celebrations and just to give a prompt that gives in all the information, and the information is right there. You don't have to go through a lot of books to get content right at this moment. You can immediately snap your finger, you get it. So ChatGPT, we have used majority of content is derived from ChatGPT or using AI, and this is not uh, taken blindly. Like we proofread what is given by the AI, and we make our own changes in it. And I feel there's a mixture of AI and our creative thinking there when it comes to marketing. So even when it comes to sales and we're making uh, quick replies, so that's something we use very often. So we have a welcome message, and there are a lot of things that comes under the quick replies. And let's say so there are particular statement that to give given out depending on the situation. So we have drafted a lot of quick replies for that, and all this were drafted using AI. And uh, it maintains the professionalism, and it's very helpful in that end. Also, I spoke about the marketing team, and we put out content, video content in terms of reel and shorts on YouTube, and we draft the content for the videos from ChatGPT. With the help of ChatGPT, we also proofread it. That's very important because you can't blindly take the content that's given by the AI and make a video out of it. You have to analyze it and put your own aspect to it and make slight changes in the content. But overall, the process of making the content has become really fast. And it is very easy to draft topics. So there is a, if most of the people that do influencing or social media content creation, there will come a point where they'll have a content block. With the help of AI, that is eliminated all of a sudden. One fine day you is ask like 100 ideas for creating YouTube video, and it gives you 100. And see, that's how advanced the AI have got over the years, and that's very helpful. But one thing you have to keep in mind is don't blindly take whatever the AI gives, because AI is giving information based on what it has learned. So it could be something wrong. So even I think in ChatGPT, Gemini, and all, when they give out content, they say that this might be wrong. They give a warning, this might be wrong. So just proofread it. So yeah. And when it comes to video creation, we use Gemini. Gemini is wonderful in creating images. So last day I was working, one of the content we created was about the functioning of our DNA, and we give a prompt saying the structure of DNA, and it gave a wonderful image, and it's not copyrighted, so we can use it in our video. With every image that the AI creates is a different image, and can't be copyrighted. But when we post it in the social media, there's always a option to turn on the AI, whether the content we are putting out has AI or not. So that has to be turned on. And yeah, there are a lot of things that that is in the workflow presently when it comes to our management. And also the post we put, everything is there is a major role played by the AI there, even though the human touch is there, but a major role is played by the AI. Also, yesterday I had a very funny incident where I was booking flights to come back to India, and I accidentally booked 2 tickets instead of 1 on the same flight. And so the AirAsia Move app has this AI feature where we're chatting to a AI bot, and it gives you a good, like, normally when we chat with the bot, it's not that satisfying because they don't reply to you with any feelings. It's just giving you options A, B, C. I had conversation with this bot yesterday, and I told it, like, I accidentally booked 2 tickets. The first time I tried booking it, I thought it didn't go through, and I got it again. Then I saw 2 tickets in my name. So I just mentioned that I accidentally booked 2 tickets, and it gave me like valid answer. Like, if the name and date and the flight is the same and you have accidentally booked it, I'll give you a full refund. And all the information was given. A ticket was drafted immediately, and I got a mail saying that this ticket has been generated, and today I got a mail saying the refund is initiated. All that. So the need for there. One thing you have to notice is that this was a job of human before. There were call centers. The company had to put up call centers, and there should be a chain of command, and there's a lot of process in it. And this entirely has been eliminated by one AI. So there are certain perks to it, and but overall the interaction was really good. I got a proper solution out of it, right? So I think many companies are adapting it over the years. Even I would like to adapt it into my company. I think there's a lot of expense involved in the transformation from a physical workforce to AI, but yeah, that's something very interesting that's coming in the future.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, George. And I'm glad your refund issue got sorted.
Yes.
So I would, just like to check if any of you in your professional capacity has used AI specifically to make any sort of workplace decision, either use it in hiring or performance evaluation or any sort of decision that has to do with making decisions in the workplace. Or creating a job description or anything of that sort.
For creating a job description, our prompt has to be very clear. Otherwise, it may misguide, right? So for hiring, so if an AI takes interview, okay, it will it will take the accent of. We are all Indians. We don't talk like Western counterparts people. Okay, so it will obviously reject you if you use it for hiring because of majorly because of the accent. Or if you tell the AI that I had a break for 5 years, it will not know what has happened to this person. It will obviously reject. For hiring, it is a bad idea of using AI. Only for documenting something, it is very useful. As George said, there are many purpose we can use AI, but not for hiring or to evaluate something. Even the performance review meetings in the company, it should be done. Done with the person directly. Making them sit next to you and listening to them will make sense. Otherwise, making the AI to evaluate their performance is not at all a right decision.
But one thing that one disagreement I had was that is that, we are analyzing data, and Sindhu mentioned that they have put in gender-based, name-based data. I don't know, whatever the thing is. So you set a target. Let's say you have to pull in 50 clients in a month, and the target that employee has achieved is just 30. That's more than 50% of the target, right? So when you given the same data, there is no way that the AI would say, based on the gender, that this this data is different. At least it's hard for me to believe, because AI is just evaluating the data. If that client, that person has pulled in 30 clients, that means that's just calculated in percentages. And let's say, okay, this person has done this thing, and if there's a previous history of the same person, then the AI will analyze it and tell you, like, previous year this person has done so much sales, and that was the performance, and compared to last year, this year the patient is the employee is not performing really well. So we get an understanding of we get to compare the data of previous years or previous months of the same employee, and that can be done really easily without taking much of a time. So that's something we can use it. And when it comes to hiring, I feel like so back in college, when we used to analyze PDFs or informations, we used to use AI to analyze it, to get a brief understanding of what the core content of the PDF is. So there are certain, like, even when it comes to reviewing the shortlisting the candidates for an interview, it's very important. Like, you can put in a lot of resumes and you say, this is the job description, this is what I'm looking for. I have a concrete idea. So as an employer, I should have a concrete idea of what I'm looking for. And if you give that in and you upload the resume, they can go through it. To an extent, they can shortlist a few candidates that be suitable for your role. But from there, you have to again do a thorough analysis of the data, and then it has to be done. But keeping AI as a support system is very, very good, because it saves a lot of time. It speeds up the process.
Right. Amazing. Thank you so much. The two main insights that I've gathered from both Vanati and George is that there is an ease in automating certain processes that earlier were done by a human and could take a lot of time. And I really love the examples that you gave of a creative block now being almost non-existent. At the same time, from your points, I also gathered that it's difficult for AI to imitate human warmth, and also the importance of having like a human oversight to whatever we create or do with AI. Thank you so much. I have one last question before I let you go. Based on your experiences working with AI, would you say AI is more biased, less biased, or equally as biased as humans?
Should I start? Okay, I could say it's equally biased, I can say. So if the account is created with the name Vanity, and obviously it will know it's Vanity. So if I ask for some sample videos or something to analyze, it will give to like I checked it like 15 days before. I really wanted to see a celebrity video who will talk really good, so that I can improve my communication. I really wanted to see that. It gave me two female actresses names and one male. If it is done by George, obviously it will give two men name and one woman name. So it is treating us equally. It is not at all like seeing the gender and all.
Okay. So you would say that AI has some sort of bias, or it treats both men and women equally?
It is treating equally, I can say. I could say
Okay. Okay. And if compared to maybe a human or an AI, which one of these would you say would be more biased on an average?
Obviously human.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So to answer your first question, I feel the AI is not biased, because it lacks something that we humans have, so-called feelings. AI don't have that feeling or favoritism towards a person, individual, or gender. Is what I've experienced. Okay, in the future, if AI develops to a certain stage where it gets feelings or it starts getting bias, I don't know whether that's a thing for the future. But at present, I feel there is no bias. It takes in the data that we give, and also understands what we want, and give us a result based on that.
Okay.
If you ask Gemini to create a image of a pregnant woman, it would give a face of a woman with belly and that sort of thing. So it implies the logic that it has, and there is no the statement should have made a pregnant person. It would obviously give a woman's face, even though we have specified the gender there. It is very concrete, and it uses its own logic to derive to an answer.
Right. So keeping that in mind, I will again come back to my question. Compared to a human or an AI, which one would you feel is more biased?
Obviously human. The emotional factor is or the feeling is not there in an AI. One thing that I observed when we got into the business is, most of the business deals are done based on emotions. Emotions in the sense, um, uh, there is always a favoritism towards everything in business. Huh? You have a job that has to be done. Most likely, you give the job to someone who you're friends with, or someone who has a company that can get the job done, who is your friend, rather than someone who is a stranger who owns a similar line of business. But you would prefer the job done by your friend, huh? Or someone you're acquainted with, or someone that your friend referred. Huh? So there's always this. There's always this concept there that when it comes to giving the job, there's always this favoritism to that's already in our mind. It's preset. It's a schema that's there. Huh? You'd rather give the job to someone you know than someone you don't know, or the other person should be really good at what he does, and is really good at the sales, and getting the uh, sale to himself. Huh? So yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Based on this conversation, there was just something that came up to me. Like, as we were doing this research, we were also looking at previous research on AI and whether it contributes to gender bias or it is neutral. And one such case that we came up was the Amazon using AI for hiring. I'm not sure if you've come across this, but
Yes.
they basically fed in resumes to the AI, gave it the KPIs, the job description, asked it to choose candidates, which AI, based on the fact and based on the data, like George said, purely devoid of feelings, shortlist few candidates who would fit that profile, right? So what we would imagine is that AI would be purely non-biased, does not have feelings whatsoever. But based on the data, so for the role in Amazon, previously they had only hired male candidates, right? So taking that pattern, what AI did was that it sort of rated women low because it was not in its history that a woman could fit into this position. And taking that logic, it sort of started down rating women. And even when the gender was removed, like that was something that we do as well in hiring, right? We take away the names, we tend to present the gender as neutral. There were some cases in which the AI detected that this candidate was from a women's college and therefore applied that same logic and downvoted that candidate. So that was just something that came up, and that was really interesting to us because I was also of the same opinion. Like, if you give data, if you give it proper logic, and if it's based on math, there would not ideally be any major difference. However, it is based on data, and data comes from humans, and humans, there is a huge long pattern of biases sort of unconsciously being ingrained in the way we hire or even the way we write content. Sometimes certain words we just tend to use more for males, certain for females. So that was just one interesting topic that came across, and I just thought I'll share it along.
One thing I found interesting in that is that the AI that Amazon was building looked into the previous history of the gender of the people who the company hired. Huh? Right.
Right.
So that is a logical aspect, I would say. Because
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, it analyzed the previous history of the company and came to a conclusion that male doing this job is much efficient, or that's why they would have hired more men.
Mhm.
And came to the conclusion that a female man will be more suitable for this job. uh, but I don't know whether they have done it to HR department to hire an HR. Like, if the AI would have given the same interesting fact that a woman is given priority than a man. So it's based
Right.
on the job role. It comes down to the job role is what I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. I think the tool was then later scraped since
Yeah.
they did not want those previous biases to affect their future hiring, and they wanted it to be based purely on meritocracy. So a lot of work is still yet to be done,
Yeah.
using AI more efficiently in our workflows. So thank you so much for sharing, guys. Any last thoughts, any last inputs you would like to add before we close this call?
Yeah. That is a AI is a AI can be integrated to your workflows even as a starter. Like, if you are starting a business, it'll be very helpful. Like, 50% of your job that would consume a lot of time can be automated by the AI. So it's very helpful. Like if you are just starting off a business and you don't have a huge workforce behind you, it will be very helpful to take down a lot of burden from your head when it comes to like when we initially started our company and we didn't have a lot of workforce, we had to create a booking link for book appointment with our doctors. So what I did was that I asked AI to generate a script. This will actually happen. So I use Google Forms, and there's this feature in Google Forms when you submit the Google Form, you can automate the mail. And you can custom design it. So I didn't know about it, but AI suggested me this is something you could do to automate. You don't have to, sit down and send one by one. So whenever we get a booking, we'll have to then I have to go to the Gmail and I have to type down or copy paste the pre-written mail and send it. That was a whole process that was taking up my time, at least 5-10 minutes of my time. So AI suggested that you can write the app script and automate this. So whichever email ID you want to send it to, you just link it to that. And once the person submits the booking form, it automatically sends the confirmed date and timing for the appointment and with the link. So that was a major breakthrough for me because I didn't have to sit and do it in the initial stages. We still use it now. It's been almost 1.5 years since we started the company, and we still use it. We haven't changed it yet because it is very efficient. It is very efficient. It's running really good, so I didn't have to change it. Normally, when after a certain time we create our own companies normally create their own website where they can book an appointment. I'm still using Google Forms. It's very efficient for me.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing, George.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Vanati?
Yeah, Sindhu, 50% of things can be done by AI. I'm okay with that, but 50% can be done only by human. So in an organization, to document something or shortlisting and all, yeah, they can use, but you may miss out some really good candidate while hiring, or not every AI tool is helpful. Okay, but 50%, yeah, as George said, it is doing many jobs. Like it is reducing our stress actually. Like half of the job is done by AI, but half should be done by only humans.
Right.
You
Amazing.
never know, but in the future there'll be AI that'll be so good that takes up 100% of our stress.
Right.
Let's see.
Hopefully not 100% of our jobs, but yes. Really.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much both for joining
Thank
this
you for having
conversation.
us. It was a wonderful
Yes.
wonderful conversation. Yeah.
Nice meeting you, George.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes. So this has been Unpacking Bias at Work. I'm Sindhu, your host. And until next time, stay curious, stay observant, and keep pushing for a more equitable future. Thank you so much for listening.